Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. And this is your tip of the week. And I'm going to talk about jelly rolls and how you can stitch them in to some of your projects. This is a jelly roll. The strips are 2.5 inches wide this way. And then they're just rolled up so you can see all of the different colors. This one has 20 strips that are 42 inches long, and it's 5 different pattern colors in this strip. You can get these at a variety of places. I can get them at Walmart. They don't have a lot there. I wish they did. You can get them at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. You can get them all over the internet, including Amazon. Here is a small version of a coin quilt. It's also called stacked coins. Now don't get too hung up on names of quilt patterns because every quilter who's designing something has their own little unique name they like to put on it. But coin quilt or stack of coins is a very common name. One of the problems I have in doing this is that as you're stitching these little pieces together, sometimes it starts to curve and go in all kinds of crazy, wonky directions. So let me show you what I do to accomplish this. So I want my stack of coins to be 5 inches wide when it's completed. It's in the quilt. So you have to make sure you add an extra 1/2 inch for seam allowance. So I've cut a strip that's 5.5 inches wide, and then you would cut it whatever length you needed. Then to put the jelly roll strips on, I will take one of them and I will lay it with the pretty side up. Now, I've cut my jelly roll strips wider than this. You want that because later on we'll trim all that off, so don't worry about it. So lay it up against the top edge here, the raw edge. Lay it flat. Now this is pretty side up. Now you're going to take the pretty side of the next one and bring it face down. Then I would advise you to pin it so that it does not shift. And then from the edge of the jelly roll strip in this way, you would stitch 1/4 inch seam. One of the suggestions I have for when you're stitching is to make sure your stitch length is not too short. If it's too short, it will cause the fabric to push in like this, and it's going to distort this piece of fabric here. Also, if your seam is just a little wavy, it's going to start causing that problem of it twisting. And this one's just a little wavy, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So press it. Make sure this seam is pressed flat. Then unfold it and press on top. Try not to stretch your fabric. That's going to cause a lot of other issues. So now I'm going to take the next strip and put pretty side down against this, making sure that the strip is going straight across. So if you need to kind of just shift it a little bit, which I had to right here, then of course stitch 1/4 inch seam along here, and then you would press, unfold, and press on top. Now you would keep following that process all the way down the full length of whatever your strip length is. So now it might look slightly jagged on this side, on the edges here, don't worry about that. So after you've got it all pressed, now I'm going to flip it over on the back, and I'm going to take my ruler, line it up on the edge of my fabric on the back here, and carefully line it up, and then trim this off. And then you would go over to the other side and do the same thing. And then it's ready to put into your quilt. This is one of my favorite ways to make a jelly roll table runner. It's really easy and doesn't take a lot of time to do. Now I'm going to show you the back of it a little bit. Now on the back, this fabric is longer than the front piece here. It's cut much wider so that when you're done with your jelly roll piece, it wraps over to the front. Now, I'm using that similar technique that I just showed you, but it's done in just a little bit different way. So to cut my strip of fabric for the stabilizer part, I'm going to cut it this width because I want that stabilizer not only to be underneath this, but in here, so it's the same thickness all the way across. So again, you're going to cut that piece, whatever width it was, and whatever length you need. And I want this to be 2.5 inches wide. This is where that fabric on the back is going to fold over to the front. And in here are your jelly roll strips. So I'm going to take either a fabric marker, which is preferable because it will disappear once it gets wet. So, or if it's a heat resistance fabric marker. So I'm just going to take my marker, I've just got a pencil here for now, and draw a line that's 2.5 inches from this edge over here, all the way down. Then I'm going to go over here and do the same thing, draw a line all the way down. Now at each end, I've also got that border. I'm going to also draw another line going across this way and also at the other end. But at each end, I want to put a mark that's 1/4 inch away from here. So here is the cutoff line, here's the 1/4 inch line. This is going to be hidden when the table runner is all done. So here's how you're going to put your pieces, your jelly roll pieces on. So you're going to take your first strip and take the raw edge and put it right on that 1/4 inch line. You also want to make sure that your strips are cut wider than where the lines are. So measure this, cut your strips at least 1/2 inch longer, and then line it up. Take your next one and place it. Now this is front side up. Then take your next one, this is my pretty side, front side. I'm going to put it face down. And we're going to stitch it on just like we did on the previous demonstration. So you would go ahead and stitch a 1/4 inch seam all the way across. So after you got your first one stitched on, then you press it, unfold, press again, and you keep adding them on like I showed you in the first demonstration. Then when you get to the end, you're going to hope that your last one comes out here. Now sometimes it doesn't. Mine went a little too far this way and over this way, but it's going to be okay because all I'm going to do now is just adjust this line, bring it up a little bit, and then cut some of this off. So sometimes you kind of have to what we call fudge a little bit to get it the way you want it. Now if you want full instructions on how to put the coin quilt or this jelly roll table runner together, the links to those will be listed below your YouTube screen in the description section. So scroll down, click on Show More or the down arrow, and it will expand open and you will see those links. I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that it was helpful to you. Now don't forget about the links listed in the description section. I'll also have other beginners sewing projects listed down there. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing! If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.